Hello everyone, it's Mish here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. Today, as you can probably see, it will be another day in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook journal. I have completed one journal that took over a year to create, and I'm now on the second one. So if you haven't seen the first one, there are a lot of, every page, every tutorial is in my playlist, Daphne's Diary, so be sure to check those out. And here we are on edition number 2, and we're going to do another page. So I am going to work out of number 5, 2024, so we're still in this edition. And the image that I wanted to do something with, I've already cut it out, and on this page was this lady planting a little tree, little sapling, and this is why we plant a number of trees for every issue we publish. It's just a little article on how they give back to plant trees. So I thought that that would be something good that I'd like to have in my journal. So then I was just flipping through and thinking, okay, well, how are we gonna do it? So I thought about putting her on a background with some words in the background. So I just took my little template and I held it up with her, and it's not going to fit the whole page, so I may want to put a background mat on it, but I'm going to cut that out. There's nothing, I don't think, on. Well, there's some pears on the other side, but I might want to cut those out. So what I think I'll do is, those pears are avocados. Oh, those are apples. Is I'm just going to cut over into here, because I'm going to want just a little bit of border on each side, and I want to go all the way to the top there. Okay. So I'm just going to get my ruler out. When I'm using my X-Acto knife, I like to use a metal ruler. So I'm just going to go right to the edge of that picture, although that would look kind of weird. So I'm going to go to here, I guess, and try and make that straight. So it looks like it's straight there. It doesn't really look straight up there, but I could cut it a bit bigger and then straighten it up on the trimmer. That's what I'll do. So I'm just going to cut to there, and then over to here. Okay, and then just cut across here. Then I'll get my trimmer out and I will trim that up a little better. Okay. Okay, so I was thinking that this would form some of the background, and I will have to put a little mat on there. Her bum might be sticking out over the edge of the lettering a bit, but that's okay. So then I wanted to think about things, other things that can go on the page with her. And I came to this page. So I thought that that thistle, might look good kind of in the background. So I'm just going to take my knife, and I'm just going to go around it, and then I'll cut it out better later. And this is just a little Fisker. I think it's called a precision blade or something like that. So I want to use that. Gotta tighten that up. I'm thinking that I'd like this butterfly. So we'll take that out. That could go at the top. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe either that in the corner, but before I cut it, I just want to check what's on this page. Yeah, there's nothing really there. So maybe these little flowers here, which is the magical herb, St. John's wort, because I could possibly use a bit of that, cut out the hand, and have that kind of growing in the background. But I don't want to have to do a lot of fussy cutting. What about that? Either one of those would work. Let me try this one. So I'm just going to cut into the binding there. Okay. And cut this way. One time when I was first working in the journal, I forgot to put my cutting mat down, and I cut like a lot of pages and ruined half the pages, some that I thought that I would use for something else. Let me just take this out and see if I can make this work. So we're just gonna make sure I'm on the cutting board there. There might be a lot of fussy cutting with this one, I'm not sure, but I could always go away and fussy cut it and come back. And I don't really need that hand, so we'll leave that there in case we need a hand another day, in case we need to lend somebody a hand. Alright, well, we'll start with that. Okay, I might come back to that magazine. So we've got the background. I'm going to trim that up as best we can. So I'm going to start with just trying to get it straight, a straight line across, because I don't have a straight edge anywhere. So thinking that will be the bottom there. Let's try that. So now that I've got a straight edge, it should be able to. Okay. And then we'll, as I said, we'll think about, once we get this cut up, if we need another. There's going to be some of the craft paper showing, but yeah. Oh, what was that? So I think it would look good if there was a mat in the background. So I'm just going to go away for a few minutes. I'm going to find some background paper just from my cardstock, because I think that, well, you know, kind of liking that, because it's kind of reminds me of like using wood for paper, and I kind of like the brown, but I think it's a bit too plain. So I'm just going to go away, find some background paper, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just found some background paper from just a paper pad that I had, and I have fussy cut her out, and I've cut this down to as big as I could get it. I really wanted it a little bit bigger, but it was looking a bit odd, so so we're going to put that down, and then I fussy cut the thistle out of that page, as well as those. I did fussy cut this too, but I don't think that we'll use that. But so first of all, I had this down with her, and I just felt that it was a little bit too plain around her. So I was kind of thinking of putting just a bit of washi tape at the top. So let's just see. This washi tape isn't, well, at least is my experience so far. I can peel it up if I don't like it. So let's just see if I do like it. So, excuse my head. I'm just going to have to bring this down towards me for a second, so I can line this up at the top. I'm fighting a cold. I tested for COVID and it's not COVID. However, there's a lot of COVID going around right now. Just a summer cold, I guess. So I've put that at the top, and then I'm thinking, yeah, I kind of like that because I'm going to put a little saying down here too. So let's just get this background lettering down. And this is just glossy paper, so I am using Elmer's glue, but I have a micro tip, and I'm not really putting a lot. If you put a lot on there, it's going to warp that paper. You can use a glue stick or tape runner, but I was happy with that. Okay, and then we're going to get her down. Oops. And I have a saying here, which I couldn't quite decide, but I kind of like the best time for new beginnings is now, because she's planting this new little sapling. Let's see, I don't think that's straight at all. Let's see. That's better. So I kind of like that, and maybe one of you needs to know that right now is the best time for new beginnings. It's often hard to begin anew, begin afresh. You know, we dig our heels in sometimes because we're afraid, but oftentimes when you look back, it was the best decision that you could make. So I have that one. I like this is where magic happens, because of course planting trees and flowers, growing, I mean, what is magic if it isn't that? So I did like that, but then I also liked, there was something here, live gently upon this earth. And I think that that's a reminder for us all too. So anyways, I'm going to put that somewhere down there. So I'm just going to pop this maybe there. And for now, I'm only going to tack down the very bottom of this, because I want to get my other little floral images behind it. So I'm kind of happy with where she is. I think that's such a lovely little image. So I was thinking that we're going to put the butterfly kind of up there, almost as if he's looking over her shoulder watching, and very happy that she's planting some new stuff. And then we could get the thistle kind of in back there. I think that kind of looks nice there. And then this can just peek out from behind her in this way. So I think that looks good. And then there was this, but I just felt even if I cut it down, unless maybe I just felt that this was too busy, but we could try it. So when I put this behind her, it's just a lot of busyness. I mean, I could do it that way. Just didn't like the effect as much. And even if I just cut that bit off, unless I didn't use the thistle, but I want the thistle. So I'm going to put this one down. All right. There we go. Let's get this in behind here without ripping my other little branch there. The Olympics are wrapping up. I've loved watching the Olympics. Okay, so then I'm just going to kind of tuck this one in behind her there. But I want to angle it a little bit so that it's sort of coming out from behind her, so that I can see the little blue flowers and stuff, kind of like that. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. I don't really, I'll just save those for a different project. We'll get that down. And then we'll get her down. So let's pop this up. And get that down. And we'll get her down. And I thought this was just a nice little reminder for us to give back to our earth. Because one day, not in our lifetime, you know, it might not be what it is today, for sure. All right, so I think that live gently upon this earth, or the best time for new beginnings is now. I think I'm going to put live gently on this earth as a reminder for us. And then, as I usually do, think about tarting that up. So I'm just going to go, I didn't bring down my sequins. I'm kind of thinking it'd be good to put some sequins there, but I would like to use these little rivets. I just get these at the dollar store, and I'm going to put one kind of before and after our little saying. I think that's kind of nice. Just kind of, and then I don't really think, I was gonna put maybe, I like putting little bits, like a little gem, but I like wee little ones, like this one here. This is a wee little one. Oh, actually, my favorite ones for butterflies. Gosh, my last video, I would really apologize. I kept calling a bee a butterfly, and I tried to edit the the thing by putting in just a little heads up, but I use iMovie on my iPad, but it's an old version, so I can't do a lot of things that the newer version can do, so I'm really limited. So I was like, how am I going to get across that I realize I'm saying butterfly instead of bee? That's when I was doing this one, when I was doing this page. Oh gosh. Anyway, you guys know what I mean when I'm messing up. I'm kind of thinking that I love these little brass butterflies. Oh, the seagulls are in. It's I live in Halifax, just up from the Narrows, the Bedford Basin, where the Bedford Basin goes out in Halifax Harbor and out to the Atlantic Ocean. And it's we're getting a tail end of one of the tropical storms, so it's really warm out, humish, a little bit humid. It's not really warm, like, I don't know what I think one's enough. I don't know what the temperature is, maybe like 24 or something. I can tell you. But when it gets these weather conditions, the seagulls kind of come in. It's 20 degrees with the humidex. This feels like 23. So when it gets conditions like these, the seagulls come inland and they drop things like clamshells and stuff. All right, well, I think that's, you know, if it's your page, you can tart it up. I actually have this little piece of washi tape on my desk. Well, what would that look like? Nah. I'm liking it just the way it is. But yeah, if you have sequins and stuff, you want to tart it up more, you can go right ahead. I kind of thought about one thing I could do, which I do often. So I could use my Wink of Stella to just make my butterfly a little glittery, and Wink Stella is just a glittery aqua writer, and when the water evaporates, it just leaves this lovely little sheen. It's hard to see it on the camera, but yeah, so that's our page for today. And if there is a takeaway today, if you can, give back, live gently upon this earth, go plant a tree. But until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.